Hey guys, Julie here. We are doing another one of our 31 Proverbs in 31 days. Today I'm actually going to be creating in this inspired Proverbs. I call it a coloring book, but it's so much more. It's the complete book of Proverbs, and then it's printed out with these beautiful illustrations that you could paint, draw, color, whatever your little heart's content. But it's the entire book of Proverbs in a coloring book. So if you want a chance to win your own inspired Proverbs, I'm going to be picking a winner and mailing one of these out to our winner at the end of January. So shoot me a text with the word Proverbs to 406-283-4657. Once again, text the word Proverbs to 406-283-4657. And you will be entered into a drawing to possibly win the Inspired Proverbs coloring book. So today this is actually straight out of the Proverbs coloring book, and this is Proverbs 19:21, and it says, "You can make many plans, but the Lord's purpose will prevail." Now, in this design, I'm actually going to kind of do this in two different mediums, and that's just a fancy way of two different types of art. So I'm going to watercolor the background, and then I'm going to come back in and do the lettering. So this will probably be, I'll probably, just merge the two, but this is going to be, the first part will be me painting the background and the flowers, and then I'm going to come in and do the details. So once again, I'm just using regular, good old, nothing fancy acrylic paint, watercolors. Sorry. Still trying to get all set up, guys. All right, so this is just a watercolor palette. That's just a fancy name of all the colors put together in one spot. Watercolors come in a few different varieties. You can get them either in tubes, or you can kind of get them dry like this. And I just like this because it's all in one spot. It's all easy to snag, and I'm not a fancy artist. It's just easier for me. So that's the reason why I do this. And I love blues. I actually think I'm going to do this one, kind of this harvesty gold. So I'm just going to come in here with a little bit of water and just a multi-purpose paintbrush. The brushes that I usually use are good for acrylics and watercolor. So they're kind of just a multi-totalitarian use, I guess. But I love this Proverbs coloring book for so many reasons. But I think my favorite, well, one, because it's got all these beautiful illustrations, and it just kind of makes it easy to jump in and start creating. But the paper in this coloring book is so nice and thick. So it's pretty good. Oops, sorry guys. Telling you I'm not gonna stuff over. It's pretty good quality. I'm just going to put that piece of paper behind it so I can paint all the way up to the edge and not have to worry about what's on the other side. But you could, like I said, this holds up really, really well to a ton of different mediums, whether it's watercolor like I'm using, markers, colored pencil, even acrylic paint. So this is just a really fun way. Like I said, some days, even though I'm creative as my job, sometimes the creative juices aren't flowing. And this is an easy way to just jump in and get started and not kind of have that writer's block or that artistic block. I truly think it's a thing. You've heard writer's block, but there's sometimes like when I go sit down to create and just all my motivation is gone. So I don't know if there's a name for that, but I'm calling it artist block because I don't know what else to call it. But there's just some times when inspiration eludes me, I guess is a better way to say it. So just so you know, as I'm talking through this, I'm painting the background, this really pretty kind of harvesty yellow orange color. I'm going to paint the flowers with watercolor, and then I'll probably come back and add some more details. But this is just my background. So I'm kind of doing this quick. I'm just kind of squiggling my brush. I like kind of a marbled background with lots of texture. So that's why I like some of the areas for the paint to be thicker, some of it to be thinner. So it just kind of has this marbled watercolor look, for a better way to describe it. So I'm intentionally kind of making this messy. And like I said, I can come over the wording later once this watercolor is dry. So I'm not really worried about painting right over those words. Like I said, I'm just going to come in here and do the background really, really quickly. And then I'll come back once that is dry and add some more details. I just want to give you guys inspiration, show you guys some different ideas on how to create. There is no right or wrong way to do it. The main thing is just to spend time with God while you're in your Bible making pretty things. So at the end of the day, the goal is not necessarily to have a painting that looks exactly like mine or exactly like, you know, some form of inspiration that you found, but it's just to spend time with God. And when you create, you use like a different part of your brain. So for me, it's just a different way to get into my Bible. All right, so I've done the background. And then like I said, I'm just gonna really almost kind of just color block. I'm just coming in here and adding in some colors. I'm trying to make sure there's not a weird shadow. I'm gonna do my bird blue. And I haven't decided. I think I might do my flowers like a really pretty pink color. So I'm just gonna come in here with some blue paint. Like I said, paint the bird. I'm just color blocking. I'm not worried about details. I'm not worried about if it looks perfect. If it goes outside the lines a little bit, that's okay. Just coming in with a little bit of blue paint or whatever color you want your bird to be. Then I want a vibrant, bright, I'm going to go with this pretty, like almost bubblegum pink. And come in and just paint the flowers. One other quick trick when it comes to painting with watercolors is that your water to paint ratio, so how much paint I have in my paintbrush versus how much water, that kind of recipe of water to paint will determine how vivid and how bright your colors are. So if you want them to be a little more translucent, add more water. If you want them to be a little more saturated or bold or vibrant, just use less water and add more paint to your paint to water ratio. And like I said, I'm not stressed out too much about doing the, if I accidentally paint a leaf, if I accidentally, paint somewhere where I don't mean to, it's not that big of a deal. At least for me. I want to take some of the stress and some of the intimidation out of art. So for me, this is just a fun way to throw down some color and then be inspired afterwards. Okay, guys, I'm going to let this dry and then I'll be back in a little bit and we will add some details.